So I'm going to put a slide up there. Tell me what the main thing is that you can see that's wrong with it. Ready?
Too small.
The picture's bigger than the actual content.
Yeah, the picture's huge and the content not so much, okay? So too small. Huge issue when it comes to your PowerPoint presentation. When the text is too small, no one can read it, and instead of listening to you, they're trying to figure out if they can read it, or they'll turn to the person sitting next to them to see if they can read it. This is a big deal. So how do you avoid this?
Get bigger.
Make it better, bigger than 24.
Yes! Okay, everybody that I looked at, and all the resources that I read, and all the online resources that I looked at, everyone said between the fonts of 24 and 36 point.
Actually, I like 30.
Yeah,
I mean, I like as big as possible.
totally.
Yeah.
Font. Can you say that one more time?
Yep. Everywhere I looked, 24 to 36 point font. Don't even try if it's less than 24.
And if you have, then you have too many words.
Yeah? Oh yeah, we're gonna get there.
Sorry, I'm jumping in.
No, I like that. Also, one thing I read, which I thought was really good, was don't have more than 2 different types of fonts on your screen. It'll start confusing the people. So you can have a different font for the title and what you have below it, but don't try to mix it up and do many more than that. You want to be consistent. Consistency is super important. So, for instance, if the slideshow that I have presented has the most important information in a bright yellow in 36 Arial font, then the next slide I do, the most important information should be in bright yellow 36 Arial font. And then the next one, and the next one. Because what happens is your brain starts making connections to those things. So the more consistent you are, the easier it is for the people that are with you to follow. So be consistent. The one thing I do before every PowerPoint presentation, so I actually had to book it up here before you guys got up here, is I'll go to the back of the classroom and I will play every slide on my PowerPoint presentation because I want to see if you can read it. I want to make sure that the text is big enough and that I almost always make changes. Almost always make changes before I present. So get there early. Okay, next slide.
Yes. Definite color problems.
Oh, there's text there.
There is text there. You can't read that?
I can read it, but I can't see it very well. I
Yeah.
can kind of read it, I guess.
You can kind of read
Just the
it.
top 3 words.
Yeah.
This drives me insane. This is like probably the #1 thing that people do that drives me insane is they got this cool picture in their background. They put words on the screen and you can't read anything on it because the color scheme and the way that they've done their colors is just awful. Awful. Color is a critical design element. It grabs attention, emphasizes important ideas, and creates contrast. You guys ready for this? Research shows that color visuals can account for 60% of an audience's acceptance or rejection of an idea.
Wow.
Color is that important. It accounts for up to 60% of an audience's acceptance or rejection of an idea. It can increase willingness to read by up to 80% and enhance learning and improve retention by more than 75%. Okay, so again, 60% of an audience's acceptance or rejection of an idea can be drawn through color. It increases willingness to read by up to 80% and can enhance learning and improve retention by more than 75%. Color is important. And different colors have different emotions attached to them. So what I want you to do is I'm going to name a color. I want you to tell me the first few words that come to mind, okay? Blue.
Soothing.
Calm, soothing, peaceful.
Yes.
All of those words. I've got peaceful, soothing, tranquil, cool, trusting. Okay. How about white?
Pure.
Pure.
Blinding.
Blinding. Alright. What'd you say?
Lame.
Lame? White is lame? Alright. Sorry. No, that's okay.
It's not, but that's what I
Association.
thought of. You said what I thought of.
That's alright. What about innocent or neutral
Neutral.
Neutral.
or wise? White hair?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, what about the color yellow? Yellow.
Fun.
Right.
Fun,
Sunny.
bright, sunny,
A little overwhelming.
Happy.
a little overwhelming.
Depending on the color yellow.
Kind of an exclamation.
Yeah, exclamation. I've got warm, bright, cheerful, enthusiastic. What about red? What does red make you think of?
Point, like
Angry.
Angry?
Yeah, that's good. I was gonna say like emphasis.
Emphasis?
Emphatic.
Emphatic.
Emphatic stick.
Love. Steve, red, anything?
And blood.
Candid.
And blood.
Steve's coat.
Passionate and dangerous, active, painful. All those associations. Okay, what about the color green? Last one.
Nature.
Nature.
Growing.
Vibrant.
Growing, vibrant,
Soothing.
soothing,
Life.
life. In culture, when you think of green, think of anything? I'm surprised you guys haven't gone there
Hippies.
yet. Hippies. I guess green has a new
Environment.
yeah, it kind of has this new connotation, green.
Yeah.
But also assertive, prosperous,
Assertive. Huh.
envious.
Green with it.
Yep,
Like
relaxed. So one thing to think about when you guys do your, I mean, this is all psychological stuff, which
They're
is
all
so
different types of
interesting.
green too.
Yeah.
That I would say.
I think
So-
this is soothing.
Some is spring green, some is dark green, some is forest. You know.
Sure.
There are all those different types.
Definitely, definitely. The main point is that I'm not going to put up a PowerPoint with the background being bright red unless I'm really trying to emphasize a point. Because when
Like
people think of
judgment.
that word, they're thinking of danger, they're thinking of, you know, passionate, but like kind of in a bad way probably. So think psychologically, you have to think about your audience and what colors would be
And
best.
don't use your yellow text on red.
Don't use your
Bad.
yellow text on red.
Bad
Yes.
and green. Do
Yes.
Orange or green on that.
It's true. So one thing also, because we are a cross-cultural setting, we need to recognize that color associations that we have and emotions that we have with different colors might not be the same cross-culturally. So I think green and I think of money and think of greed and I think of all of those things, but that's because our money is the color green. Other cultures might not think that when they think of green.
Feedbacks.
So learn your culture, that's just as important for color as it is for anything else. Okay, two more things about color. One, you don't want to be switching back and forth from different texts with different colors on them all the time. You're going to jar your audience. It's going to be distracting, but it's also not going to be like a soothing experience for them in the process. Okay, recognize that when you're doing that in your slides. Also, color combinations to avoid. We talked about some red and green and blue and yellow. Why? Because of color blindness. So there's a lot more men that are colorblind than women, but because of that, we need to be aware that sometimes I had two of my best friends in high school, both of them would confuse red and orange. Both of them are guys. And so when you want to be careful with colors, they have problems seeing these colors. So red and green and blue and yellow.